night before Christmas, and off to the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, with hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Welcome to Education Today.
I'm Bailey Neal, a senior at Ford City High School.
And I'm Leslie Schaefer, a junior at Ford City High School. While working on some different ideas for programming here at Education Today, we decided it would be interesting to bring acknowledgement to volunteering around the community during the holiday season. The idea was to give our viewers at home a more detailed glimpse into the hard work, effort, and kindness shown throughout the area.
Today we are going to focus on the local gift drive sponsored by the Salvation Army. We've invited Captain Dave Rhodes and his wife Pam to inform us about the gifts received during the gift drive. Welcome to Education Today.
Well, thanks. Thanks for having us.
So, how long have you been working with the Salvation Army?
We've been working with the Salvation Army for 11 years now, and this is our third year in Katanning.
Could you tell us a little bit about what the Salvation Army does? Or what it is?
What it is? Well, the Salvation Army is a church, and we're also a social service agency. We take care of people's needs, whether it's clothes, food, shelter, utility assistance, all those things during the year. We also give out toys and food at Christmas time, and we do a lot of whole other things. What do you think, Pam?
We have a feeding program now, the last Tuesday and Thursday of the month, every month. We've had anywhere between 70 and 90 people in for a meal, so we have found that to be a real area of need.
Wow.
So we've enjoyed that. We also have a clothing room. Everything's $1, and there's a lot of stuff that's brand new, and there's a lot of things that are used, and it's clean and organized, and the community has really been enjoying that room.
Wow, I'd probably be enjoying it too.
I just got a couple shirts out of there for my daughter, actually. This is her size.
Can you explain to us the gift drive that you participate in?
Well, every year at Christmas, there are many kids in our community that have a hard time, parents have a hard time making ends meet, and so we collect toys every year to give out at Christmas time to help with that effort. So every year we raise money and we put little tags on the Christmas trees all around the community, and people bring in toys and we distribute them to families here in Katanning in Armstrong County.
And you also have the bell ringers as well, right?
We do. We have the bell ringers up at the mall, and at Sprinkles they ring the bell from mid-November through Christmas Eve, and that money that we raise there helps to buy toys and food and things for Christmas time.
Okay.
It's been a really interesting time here in Katanning. We have over 400 children signed up right now. So depending on where you live in town, you'll know there is a need, or you'll think there is no need at all. And having 400 kids signed up at this point is it's a big deal. And you know, our community has really come on the side of us and helped really prepare Christmas for these kids. So Santa always shows up, but it's really hard for mom and dad to sometimes be able to show up. So we're grateful to be able to help that.
Yeah. How do you decide who gets the gifts?
Well, people will come in to the Salvation Army and they'll bring some identification, and it is an income-based program for the most part. So you have to bring in some pay stubs and things like that. And basically they just fill out an application, and if they meet our guideline, which we haven't had to turn anybody away, everybody who's come really does have a need. And we take their application and talk with them, find out what their needs are, and kind of just go from there.
They put some gift suggestions down on the form, and we put the tags out, and people buy the gifts for them.
So you'll see tags at King's Restaurant or at Walmart, at a lot of the banks, and even some of the churches, and it has a kid's code. We don't want to break any privacy or confidentiality, so every child has a code, their name, their gender, and then the suggestions that the parent gave for the child actually goes on that tag. So every tag actually really does hold all the information for a real kid in our community who is going to get exactly what the sponsor gets for that child. So it's a great program, I think.
Pretty neat program,
cool.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the gift drive an annual occasion, or?
It is every Christmas. Every Christmas. And besides the gifts, at Christmas time, this past summer, we did a back-to-school drive, and we got backpacks and school supplies for almost 400 kids as well. So
Has that gone on before, or is this the first time?
this was the second year for that, and we teamed up with a New Life Center Church in Ford City, and we had a big party at Ford City Park. We probably had about 700
It was
people.
awesome.
And,
Sounds
it was a
really
great,
fun.
Yeah,
it was
it
a
does
great
sound fun.
day.
We had lots
Yeah.
of carnival games and face painting and food, and everybody was coming for a family day, and they happened to get a backpack. So it didn't feel, the whole event wasn't made to feel like you were coming to the Army to get something you needed. You were coming for a family fun day, and you happened to get a backpack on your way out when you were done. It was,
That's
it
cool.
was fabulous.
That's so nice as
That's
well.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much planning and preparation goes into the gift drive and the back to school drive and that kind of stuff?
Hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, we really start in September, Christmas, and we do our main bulk of applicants come in the month of October, so that we can have our tags ready the week of Thanksgiving out in the community. And it takes a long time, a lot of preparation, and it's very tedious. And it drives me wild, crazy, but it's really worth it. It's very time
Time-consuming.
consuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then this week, this is the week right before the big distribution day is the 19th. So this next week and a half, we're running to the stores and we're picking up the gifts, and we're running here and there and everywhere and picking up toys for kids and things like that. So it's a crazy time of the year.
But it's also really fun. We got a grant from Walmart this year for $2,000, and we're actually closing down the office at noon today, and we're going to Walmart and shopping for all the kids that we know haven't been picked off the tag yet. So it's really fun to be able to be part of that, like, shopping part as well, as not just like the work part, but the running through, filling up the carts.
So the toys that the kids have suggested, they're not ordered ahead of time at the stores. People from the Salvation Army go and shop for that certain child.
Well, most of the time, people in the community go and shop for them.
Okay.
They grab the tag and they go and buy the stuff on that tag, and they bring the toys
And they
back
bring
to
it back.
us.
Okay.
Right. And so we have a few extra tags that didn't get put on, didn't have a place, like have a tree or didn't get taken yet. So we're going to take all those to Walmart today and buy all those toys on those
That's
lists.
really cool.
That
Yeah.
is really cool.
So you can sign up really to the last minute. We want to get the tags on the tree so that the community can really partake, and it's not us doing it. But some parents didn't have a need until just now, or some certain things have come up in their life and they're kind of coming to the door now, which it's tough that way, but it's really fun because then we just feel like, yep, we can handle that, and off to the store we go.
Yeah.
Do you normally get donations such as books or other educational items?
Yeah, yesterday actually we went. We participated in a program called Operation Santa Claus, which is the Tribune newspapers sponsored that program, and they gave us 200 bags of food to give out at Christmas time. But they also gave us 4 or 5 big old cases full of books to hand out to kids, and folks bring in books, and we have a room that people can pick out what books they want and that kind of thing. So it's we do get a lot of books.
As a book reader myself, I would really enjoy that.
Yes. A number book about Old
Numbers on the
MacDonald's
farm.
farm. Yeah.
I love
Little kids'
McDonald's
book.
Farm.
Me too. And then here's one, beginning colors. So we'll, hopefully we'll have a little preschooler that gets a hold of this and they can read that and learn their colors and shapes and all that good stuff.
We're really excited for the partnership with Shop and Save and the Pittsburgh Tribune to bring this program called Operation Santa Claus to Katanning. This is the third year it's been done, and I know how excited the parents were last year to have, there was about 3 tables full of just books, and to really just have their pick of what they wanted and all different kinds. We just brought some of the, just a couple samples, but we think it's really important as a Salvation Army, as moms and dads, because we have a daughter who's 8, and
She's 9. You better
oh my
correct
gosh,
that because
she's 9.
Yeah, because she'll be yelling at you. This
She's
afternoon.
9. To have the kids reading and to read to your kids, it's just really important.
Reading is highly educational and helpful as children progress through school. Now we will hear Mrs. Barb Maleeson tell us why books can benefit your children.
Hi, I'm Leslie Schaefer, and I'm here with the Fort City High School's librarian, Mrs. Maleeson. Mrs. Maleeson, what books do you think are the best for children to read, educational-wise?
Pretty much any book that you read to a child is educational because they are learning about language, they're learning about creativity. You just have to see what your child likes and start reading it to them, and they will go from there.
How often do you think kids should read a day?
That one really depends on the age. If it's a younger child, they really don't have a long attention span, so maybe a 5-minute book a couple times a day. Starting a routine right before bed. I know a lot of kids really, that's a relaxation, mommy and daddy time. And then as the kids get older, it depends on the book. There are some kids you have to force to read and others stay up half the night reading.
What was your favorite book as a child, and how did it help you?
That was a hard question. That was really hard because I read a lot growing up. The book that really stands out in my mind is a book that was personalized just for me. It was a birthday land adventure that my aunt and uncle bought for me, and it was about me and my cousins and what we did on my birthday. So that's the book that really stood out.
When your kids were little, what books did you read to them, and why?
I pretty much followed whatever they enjoyed at the time. They went through the cartoon phase, they went through the popular phase. It's just whatever they wanted read to them, I would read. I'd let them pick their own books when we went to the store.
What books do you think are the most popular for ages 4 to 10?
At ages 4 to 10, it's what the kid likes. And the kids at that age, they like kind of the goofy ones. They like the Sesame Street, the Disney books, anything that they can get creative and kind of fantasize that they're in as a princess, as a dragon slayer is what they enjoy.
What books do you think are educational?
Like I said before, all books that are age appropriate can be educational just by teaching children about sentences, about language, how words go together, and how ideas go together.
What books have students been checking out lately?
As you can see in front of us, we have the Sarah Shepard books, and the girls really enjoy her books. There's also a TV series. A lot of the boys like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, the Aragon type books. The fantasy genre is the one that most kids are enjoying right now.
What new educational books that you know of have been released?
That's a tough one again. The newer educational books, they've been coming out with a lot more nonfiction that are very specific, maybe one on frogs or one on turtles or about the Titanic. So those are more educational where you're getting history and science in with them also.
Mrs. Maleeson, I'd like to thank you for spending your time with us here, and I hope that viewers at home will have a better chance of finding the right book for their child this Christmas season. Thank you.
We're back with Armstrong School District's Education Today. We are talking to Captain Dave Rhodes and his wife Pam, who are telling us about the work that the Salvation Army does during the Christmas season. Do you have an estimate of how many gifts you normally collect, or how many you're expecting this year?
Well, we have, how many kids do we have on the list so far, Pam?
Well over 400.
And
Wow.
usually each kid gets about 3 gifts. So we're looking probably, when we're all said and done, probably about 1,800 to 2,000 gifts we'll give out this Christmas.
Wow. How do you organize all of those?
I'll tell you that we have been very fortunate in that F&M Bank has donated a building to us for use of Christmas, which has been really beneficial, because the first year we were here, we tried to do this operation out of our facility, and it was difficult, to say the least. So we have a really large space, and basically the kids, the tags that we were talking about earlier, have a number on them. And so when the toys come into the warehouse, they get signed up, lined up by their number, and then we can check off to see what tags have come in and who tag didn't come in, so we can supplement, i.e. go shopping for that kid. And then they get bagged up by family unit. And then on our distribution day, the families just come in, and we have one room that we call the free room. It has lots of Christmas decorations, lots of stocking stuffers, some stuff that's brand new, some stuff that is gently used. Parent can take what they'd like out of that room. And then they go to the book room and can pick out their books. And then they go see, the next room is where they'll get their bag of gifts. And then on the way out the door, they collect their bag of food and their turkey. It's been a real interesting and good partnership with the Masons here in Katanning. They donate over 100 turkeys every year to us, and Shop and Save donates the rest. And the Masons have sent their volunteers down for the last couple of years, and they actually carry the big bags of toys out to the cars for the moms and dads, and have really been a real help on that distribution day, which can be taxing and tiring, but having all those men up there is nice. Get some jobs.
Yeah, and we don't want to make it to, people are coming in for help, and we don't want to put a stigma on that. So, there's Christmas music playing, and there's cookies, and there's hot chocolate, and
Coffee.
it's just like a big Christmas party, pretty much. And people go through and pick out their stuff and get their toys, and we just want to make people feel comfortable and welcome and all that, and while we service the needs that they have.
I think everybody looks for that during the Christmas season as well.
Yeah.
Are there any gifts you look for in particular? Such as bikes or?
Bikes.
Oh,
There's one lady here in town,
who's an anonymous donor.
And a few years ago, she decided that she was going to buy a couple bikes for kids for the Salvation Army. So she bought 2 or 3 bikes, and she brought them down to the Salvation Army. Well, her friends at work found out, and her friends at church found out, and her family found out, and they started giving her money to buy more bikes. So last year she bought about 25 or 30 bikes, and this year we're up to like 42 bikes that her group has bought for the Salvation Army. So down in our little warehouse, there's a room, we call it the bike room. It's full of bicycles. So
When we have a day that's maybe particularly taxing or troubling, we just go down there and look at the bike room.
every once in a while,
Smile on the face
and every
makes
once in a
it
while,
all
I'll
right.
pull one out and ride it around the warehouse and park it. Got to make sure they're okay for the kids to
Quality
ride.
control. So we're really happy that we're able to provide. Most of the kids who ask for bikes will get them, and even sometimes we're able to kind of work with the parent and really just surprise the whole family. Last year we had a family that had a really hard time, and the mom had to move in with her father, and they had 3 kids, and we knew of their kind of the desperateness of their situation, and we made sure we got bikes assigned to them, and we didn't even tell the parent. We just drove down to their house in our big giant van with bikes stuffed in the back, and we got the mom to come out to the van, and she just started crying, and it was just a blessing to be able to know that someone in the community cared enough to get those bikes for the kids, and that mom was just so overwhelmed with the goodness and kindness of the community. It was really wonderful.
That would be overwhelming
Yeah,
for
it
the person
would be.
driving them too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
We
me.
cry.
I loved it.
we cry a lot.
Yeah, we do.
What
Tears
kind?
of joy.
What kind of gifts are popular? Like,
What's the toy of the year this year?
Well, the toy of the year this year are the Beyblades. I don't know if you guys have seen them because you're a little older than that 8 and 9-year-old. It's like tops. Did you ever play with the tops? And they
Yeah.
spin, and there's like, they have this big bowl that they do all kinds of, it's crazy. But that's a big one. And the paper jams, the guitars and amps are a big one. But always the big thing for the little kids are really the Lego sets. And
Legos are classic. You can't go wrong with Legos.
no, you can't.
Oh.
And they're educational, so you can put them together and problem-solving
Yeah.
skills and all that good stuff.
Almost like a puzzle.
Yes. And we brought a puzzle. We have a puzzle
Yeah.
here. And
there's a lot of puzzles at the warehouse right now. And we brought this one because it is it's a giant one. It's 2 feet by 3 feet, and it's a dog with the outfit on of the fireman. It seems like all little boys when they're young, they want to grow up and be a fireman or a policeman. And this is a fun puzzle because it's tall, but it also represents safety and protection. So
So both board games and books are plentiful this year,
yes.
and in the gift drive too.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Which do you feel are more educational, like the creative Legos and board games, or the books?
I think they both have their merits. The books are great because it teaches reading skills. It teaches imagination. It teaches people can get. I know. I kind of see that you're like me. You know, you get lost in a book. You know, I have a Kindle, and you know, it's hard to pry it out of my hand some days. But you know, kids can get lost in books, and it's great to teach kids how to read and get them. I think in today's society where it's more and more digital, I think books are even more important now than they ever have been because people don't read as much as they used to.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some kids into the love of books. But then you have board games where, you know, Chutes and Ladders, it's a classic. I think we've all played Chutes and Ladders as kids. Teaches kids how to count and teaches them how to, you know.
I like that there's consequences.
Right, there's not always good things.
Yeah.
If
Sometimes
you land on the wrong
chute
spot,
and
you
slide
take
down.
that thing all the way back to the
Yeah.
bottom and,
Yeah.
you know, try not to be a sore loser about it.
And
I'm
if-
actually a pretty sore loser.
You
about
know,
it.
and if we can get a family sitting around a table playing a board game together, I mean, that's just great family time. I know that our family, we love sitting around the table playing board games and card games and all kinds of things. It just gets us together and turns the TV off every once in a while, which is a nice thing.
So, what toys and games do you encourage your daughter to play with?
She's a board game fanatic. That girl loves board games.
Yeah.
She also,
She's into you know what? She's like in that tween area, so she's like leaving. She loved for a long time Polly Pockets and little pet shops and things like that. And now she likes, you know, the anything digital. Makes her feel cool and hip. I won't tell you what we got her this year in case she sees this. But we have really just enjoyed raising her. And I was thinking about this VTech thing we have here, the Alphabet Apple. And VTech is one of the brands that, as a parent, we used everything VTech when she was little. It's really educational, makes your child think, teaches them colors, letters, all that kind of stuff, but in a fun way. They don't know they're learning. They're playing. And all of a sudden, she could read. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the leapfrog pads and the all those, it's electronic these days, but all those type of VTech brand has really done a wonderful job with education and making education fun for the little ones. It's mostly preschool stuff.
Yeah, I see there's little pictures on there
Yeah.
so they could learn their animals or their insects.
yeah, their
So-
alphabet and colors and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff on there.
And also, when a parent gets tired of it, you can just take the batteries out.
Is the gift drive open to more volunteers?
Absolutely. We are almost completely, we are probably 95% volunteer based. We only have, besides Captain Dave and I, we only have one part-time employee at the Salvation Army in Katanning here. And really what we do is pull in volunteers at every available opportunity. So if you want to come down, call the Salvation Army, I'll put you to work. It's a rewarding time. It's, you know, it's, of course, it's a time to work. But it's really a blessing for yourself to be able to get out of your own need, your own struggles, your own concerns, and really work on blessing somebody else. Just amazing what can happen with volunteerism.
Yeah. I did volunteer at the hospital once, and I sure put smiles on the patients' faces whenever I was up there in their rooms. So,
yeah, especially young people. We have a couple groups from a couple schools in the Armstrong County School District area that are coming this next week to help at the toy warehouse. And we also had some children join us. We do a lot of nursing home visitation, and having the little kids come with us to see the seniors, it makes a big difference. So anybody any age, we'll find something for you to do at the Salvation Army.
All right. Now that we've heard that board games are still popular today, let's take a look at why they make such a great Christmas gift for children.
It's that time of year again. Yep, you guessed it, Christmas. As many children are beginning to write their lists, parents have specific expectations on what the perfect gift is for their children. I'm here with David Kinner, a father of 2 children, to find out what parents really look for when buying the perfect Christmas gift. What is the first thing you look for when buying your children's games?
Well, I like to look for educational games, something that they can learn from and grow from. That would be the starting point of my purchasing of Christmas gifts.
That's good. Would you pick the educational games over the video games?
Oh, absolutely. Unless there was an educational video game, then why that would be. Leapfrog and LeapPad have quite a few games that the kids can learn from, so something of that nature.
This is true. There's a couple. I'm here with 8-year-old Jessa Kinter, interviewing on her on what kind of games she likes to play. So when you're bored at home, what kind of games do you play?
Sometimes I play like board games like Monopoly or Scramble.
Those sound fun. What kind of games do you want for Christmas?
Like memory or the leap pad thing, because that can help me with reading and numbers.
Is there a certain store you would choose your presents from?
No, there's not a certain store. I would look for the best deal, maybe online. Sometimes you can find better deals online than you can in stores. So I would look for the hometown store that would sell it rather than a big corporate company, just to keep the money local.
So what are your presents? What presents are you looking for to buy your kids this year for Christmas?
Well, there again we get back to the educational part, something that they can learn from, something they can grow from. I would look for something that maybe would put them in with the mechanical part where they have to, like puzzles, something of that nature. Hands-on, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us today. I'm sure many parents are taking notes on what to get. I'm Sam Young, and have a safe and happy holiday from all of us at Education Today.
Well, we are out of time for today. We'd like to wish you a safe and happy holiday from all of us here at Education Today. Our thanks go out to Captain and Mrs. Rhodes, who were kind enough to take time out of their busy schedule to be here with us today. Our thanks also goes out to the TV production students of Fort City High School, led by their teacher, Mrs. Barb Keller. They were our film crew today. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. DVD copies of this and all Education Today programming can be requested by contacting Chris Garatino, Multimedia Technician at Katanning Junior High School. Visit our website for updated information about the district, and have a great week.